Cucumbers are one of the summer vegetables. They are available all year round, but their peak season is the summer. They're full of water, the time of year that we need to drink water more because of the heat. So this is a perfect cucumber to buy in the store. See how long and narrow it is? It's pretty even from one end to the other. It's not like real fat at one end and real skinny at the other. This is a gorgeous color, although some of the different cucumbers have a lighter green color. So I would always just look for the overall color being the same on the cucumber. There is also hothouse cucumbers. We're going to look at these today also. They are seedless, they're grown in greenhouses, and they're usually wrapped in a plastic casing. This has become very popular, and if you'll notice, it's the same kind of thing to look for. Long and narrow and being firm. Both of these are firm to the touch. They're not squishy and not real hard. To slice the cucumber inside, there are some seeds. And some seeds are bigger in some cucumbers than others. I wanted to cut this open and let you see the seeds. They run right down the middle, and these are pretty small. And this is kind of a younger cucumber, I think. I don't think it's as mature as it could be. Some people do not like the seeds. Some people take them out. I'm going to show you how to do that. The easiest way for me is to use a melon baller. And you have two ends, and so I just kind of guess which one's going to be the one, and then I just kind of scoop it down. You might have to do it in a couple of layers, depending on how deep the seeds go. And then, to decorate it even further, because sometimes the skin is tough, and this one looks a little thick on the outside edge. And so the one thing you can do is take the tines of your fork, and you can just, I'm going to put this on the board because it's easier. You start at one end and you just kind of scrape it down. And it usually makes a jagged edge like this. Oops. So there's, and on the outside edge it'll look jagged when you get those cut. Let me cut one for you. You can see where the tines of the fork went along the edge. Can you see that? Those little bitty zags in there? Makes it more interesting. Takes a little bit away of some of the skin. But that's still too much skin and it's still a little tough. And what I suggest you do is just put it on the top and you cut strips down and take part of the skin off, and then it will be still nice. You'll be able to see the contrasting colors, or you can peel it entirely. You know, whatever is best for you. And also the cucumber you get, because sometimes when you get it, you think it's one way, and then when you open the little package, you find out it's a different way. But then your slices, as you see, would be green and white, green and white. So that's just some ways not to take off all the skin and give some color. Of course, you can peel the whole thing and have it just without skin all together. You can do that with a paring knife. Okay. The other thing to think about is that how long is it going to be before you eat it? And the thing that you can do is you can go ahead and slice them. And I'm one of those people that likes to slice it on the diagonal. And you have your slices. And you're not going to eat them for a while. And you don't want to really just put them back in the fridge like this. So what you can do is you get a tablespoon or two of water. I usually do about a tablespoon per cup. And I dissolve that in here in a nice bowl. And then as I cut these out, no matter if they have the skin on or not, you put them in this salty water. I'm going to put the ones that I did the other ways too. And then you add some ice to it. After you get them all in, you add ice to it. And what that'll do is it'll get them really cold. And most of a cucumber is water. And so when you get it into the ice water, it makes them get cold. And you can just leave them like this until you start to eat them. And that way they'll be crisp, they'll be cold, and they won't have any bitter taste left to them, you hope. Now, the other thing you need to do is sometimes check for the bitter taste. I am going to assume that this one, because I think it looks so perfectly formed, that it won't have a bitter taste. But the best way to find out is to cut the two ends. Cut one of the ends off, take a slice, and taste this one. If it's going to be bitter, it'll be at the end more than any other place. And it's not bitter. But this would help draw out, the salt would help draw out the bitterness if there was some. Some people are surprised to learn that you can cook cucumbers, because usually what people do is see them cold and in salads. But you can saute them in oil. It's a great addition to stir fries. Now, the cucumbers can be cut the lengthwise instead of slices. So I'm going to do that to this one. And one of the things that you can do is if you take out the seeds, is you end up with little boats. And this one has bigger seeds than our last one. So I would take the watermelon, the melon baller, and I would go down the middle like this and take out the seeds. And now you have like a little boat, and you want to be sure that you don't go all the way to the end. And if you notice on here, the seeds stop before the end. So I take that all out. Now I'm going to have a little boat. And the really cool stuff you can do to that is you can put cream cheese in that little boat and fill this up with cream cheese. And if you did both sides with cream cheese, and you could glue them back together and slice them, and the cream cheese will stick. The other thing you can do, which I found out recently, is you can just place one of the cheese sticks in there and then slice those. And that gives you a little texture to go along with the cucumber. Okay, now I want to show you the hothouse one. It's just like the others, except that there are no seeds. And you can kind of see a little line. It's kind of like bananas that you do that. I'm just going to cut this part off and show you what it looks like inside. And if you'll see inside, they look like little the places that seeds should be, but it's more like a little, just the little pockets are left. There's no seeds inside there. Now some people prefer these. They're less likely to be bitter, but the cost is a little more, but they're usually longer. So it comes out about right. So I hope you take this opportunity to try the cucumbers and go to my website for a couple of recipes for how to fill them. And we'll see you next time.